If the lion is the king of the jungle, how can he be the king of the jungle? If he's not the biggest, the elephant is probably one of the biggest. He can't be the fastest because that's a cheetah. He can't be the smartest. So he's not the biggest, the fastest, or the smartest. So how does a lion become the king of the jungle? His mentality. That's the only difference of a lion and an elephant. When a lion walks up and sees an elephant, he thinks lunch. An elephant thinks run. And it's all mentality. Because when a male lion walks up, he may be outnumbered by a pack of hyenas, but I'm king of my jungle because of my mentality.
Imagine going through life and being on this side of life and knowing you gave everything you have, and now somebody calls you champion the rest of your life. I paid that price, you know? I said, or imagine messing it up and regret it the rest of your life. And the moment that I was even thought of when I was playing, when I heard somebody say, first ballot Hall of Famer, man, that's football heaven. That's sitting with, when I was 11 years old, when I was 10 years old, 10, 11 years old, I told Phil Simms yesterday, like, he was one of my favorite quarterbacks. But Wilbur Marshall was one of my favorite people, period, because I just loved the way he played the game. And I'm sitting there as a kid, no food on the table, mama trying to find a way to make it work. And I'm looking at mama and I tugged on her shirt one day and I said, one day you'll never work another day in your life. I promise you that, Mom. And to this day, me being selfish is now. When I leave here, I'll probably go find one of Ray Lewis cigars and sit back and say, wow, I did it. Like, I really did that. Right, 9 surgeries later, nobody, you know, you always look at the television, and it's great to look at the television, but
the finished product.
It's the finished product. And man, I've always told my kids, and I've always told my family, I've always told my mom, I've always told people who can't find a way, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up.
1999, we was in Atlanta. I'm walking out of the club. It's a rough place to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. We walking out of this club, this altercation breaks out. There's a bunch of people out there, these fighting break out. My limo is the only limo that's sitting in front of this club, fighting everywhere. Then gunshots ring. 14 gunshots hit the side of my lawn. We drove off. We got back to the hotel. And the message was on the news. We are looking for a black limousine navigator in connection to a double homicide. 2 men were brutally stabbed to death. Wow. I was definitely accused of double murder. I was falsely accused of double murder, actually. And they arrested me that morning in front of all 3 of my sons. It's the hardest thing to ever do, is to fight for your freedom in front of your family. And the first night I was in jail, a whisper came to my ear, and it said, "Can you hear me now?" And that's the only time, the real time, that I heard God that clearly. I'm always disturbed in my spirit on how people look at me from that instance, because those families that was affected will never know the truth. And that's sad. They still didn't find the people who died. They never had an ounce of evidence of it. And that's when I knew, no matter where I was, no matter how low I had been in my life, by any means necessary. I will prove, not just to myself, to my family, to my children, to my fans, I gotta get something done. Because if y'all that bold to put my reputation on the line, then I'm as bold as you are to fight for it.
And I was very open with how I shared Atlanta in my book, because I wanted Atlanta to be heard from a young black kid, because that's what I was then. I realize now that some things, some pains, you have to go through.
Yeah.
You can't go around.
Yeah.
You can't take a detour.
Yeah.
You got to go through it.
Right.
And if I had to go through that to be sitting right here, then so be it. And that's how I took Atlanta, and I said, for everybody who told me what I wouldn't do, you still got to watch me. It's easy to want to be liked. I don't want to be liked. I want to be respected. And if you pay attention to my story enough, you'll realize I'm the same man I was then. I just cut loose some people that weren't supposed to be on my train.
Let me tell you something. If tomorrow wasn't promised, what would you give for today? Forget everything else. Forget everything else. Forget that there was any sunlight left. What would you spend today thinking about? Yourself or the man that's beside you? Or the man that you know you'll give everything in your heart for? We get one opportunity in life, one chance in life to do whatever you're gonna do, to lay your foundation, to make whatever mark you're gonna make, whatever legacy you're gonna leave your legacy. And it's found through effort. Wins and losses come a dime a dozen. But effort, nobody can judge effort. Because effort is between you and you. Effort ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. So that team that think they're ready to see you, they think what they seen on film, they ain't saw what film shows. Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature now than I was 5 minutes ago. Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you okay with being mediocre. Ain't no man in here okay with being just basic. Every person that's connected, his job is as important as the person that pushed through. Every person that's connected to you. It's the smallest things in life that we throw away too quickly. See, some people listen, but when you really want to change, you must hear. With this toy program, what we did in this graduation, we made a step. We took the next step. But what does the next step mean? What does graduation really mean? Because when you really graduate, the thought I want to leave you with is today, it's time now till we must readjust our comfort zone. See, now it's time to go to a different thought process. You see, a goal, many goals that you may have of graduations and making it to this next moment. And I understand how important the goals can be, but the goals remains a goal until you write it on a piece of paper. Then it becomes a vision. So our next steps is, what is the vision? What is the vision? Because the only reason I'm here, the only reason we're here today is because of our yesterday. Everything I've been through has defined who I am right now. So what's the goal? What's the vision? But if the good book says write the vision and make the vision plain, before you write the vision, you must have an imagination. You must be able to see yourself out of the situation that you may have been in. If you can't imagine yourself being out of the hood, you'll keep going back to the hood. It's not that I became so brand new that I wanted to remove myself from the hood, but I couldn't change in the hood. I tell you this, you show me your crowd, I'll show you your future. Because they run hand in hand. But when you start to readjust your comfort zone, I want to share something with you. You must understand that before anything great is really achieved, your comfort zone must be disturbed.